Welcome back to The Price of Business. I am your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. John Velie is a new contributor on The Price of Business. Delighted to have him on the program and have been looking forward to his regular appearances on the show. And John, love the work you do. I consider you really a thought leader in the legal field, particularly when it comes to immigration issues. And we're delighted to get your expertise. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your practice.
Thanks, Kevin. Velie Law Firm is a global immigration firm. We basically help obtain visas for companies and individuals in the U.S. and around the world. We can be found at www.onlinevisas.com. And we're really excited today because we're going to announce a strategic alliance with a really incredible law firm in Texas from Houston and San Antonio. And really glad to introduce Ruben Flores to talk about that a little bit.
Ruben, welcome to the program. How are you today?
Fantastic. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be with you.
Real quickly, tell us about your practice and also include your website.
Yes, sir. The website's easy. It's just thefloresgroup.com. And we're really excited about the strategic alliance we're going to work with John Velie and the immigration firm. Basically, our practice is we're an international tax and corporate consulting company. We work with foreign investors and foreign business people that want to come in and do business in the U.S. So after John gets them the proper immigration, whether it's a business visa or an investor visa, we help them comply with all their tax requirements, all their business requirements, regulations, and make sure they got all their legal and corporate matters in order so they can do business and be successful in the United States.
Very
we
good.
also assist U.S. companies that are interested in doing business in Mexico. Currently, I'm the vice president of the U.S.-Mexico Chamber of Commerce, with offices all over the United States and Mexico. So we have a huge network of professionals and business people in both countries.
Excellent. Go ahead with your first question, John.
Well, I was going to dig into a little bit about that with Ruben. He's just been named to be the Vice President of International Business for the U.S.-Mexico Chamber of Commerce, which is a huge honor and fitting of the practice Ruben has developed. So, Ruben, would you mind maybe digging in a little bit about what you and the U.S.-Mexico Chamber of Commerce are attempting to do?
Yeah, you bet. Well, first of all, the U.S.-Mexico Chamber of Commerce, as the name implies, its primary purpose is to promote business between two countries. So it's educational, it's promotional, and it's networking between the two countries. So it consists of business people, importers, exporters, professionals that want to know their counterparts in each country. And what we do is provide all the technical support that they might need to do business. Or it might be a Mexican company that wants to do business here in the United States. So they're going to need immigration services through John's firm, and obviously they're going to need corporate and tax services through our firm. So we make sure that we help them with all the issues, and they can be successful here in their business. Likewise, an American company may be interested in selling their products in Mexico. So we can work with our network of attorneys and CPAs down in Mexico and make sure they got the proper structure and corporate vehicles they're using to be successful down there. Now, our group, we're totally bilingual in the Flores group. We're located there in Houston, Texas, near the Galleria area. We're bilingual. We have English capability, Spanish capability, and Portuguese. Recently, we're seeing a large influx of people from Brazil and other parts of South America. So we're really excited about joining up with John and that we can provide the full package of services now. So, immigration, whether it's corporate, whether it's tax, the client can have all his needs serviced with our strategic alliance.
Yeah, that sounds interesting. So you're helping both businesses in Mexico that want to do business here and businesses here that want to do business in Mexico. What would you say is the breakup? What percentage are here doing business there and vice versa?
Well, it's pretty evenly split. It depends what you're talking about, big business or small business. If it's small business, there's probably more small companies from Mexico doing business over here, from small to medium size. if it's a larger company, a corporate group, or somebody of that type, and then that leans more to the United States because of the maquiladora. There's a lot of American companies. They're actually leaving China and moving their manufacturing now and their processing to Mexico, which is closer. The prices now are competitive. And even though there may be some differences between the United States and Mexico, they have more things alike than they do differences, in particular when you compare it to China. So we see a lot of American companies now locating distribution facilities and manufacturing facilities in Mexico. And likewise, a lot of Mexican companies setting up distribution and warehousing facilities here in the United States.
Interesting. John?
Yeah. Absolutely. That's that's why we have such a great fit together. I'd like to ask Ruben to talk about a little bit about his background and successes he's had with the Flores group. I know he has the two offices, San Antonio and Houston, but can you tell our listeners a little bit about how you got to where you're at, Ruben?
Well, very good. Yes, our firm here, we have attorneys and CPAs. Our focus has always been in international business. I used to be the president of the U.S. Hispanic Chamber of Commerce here, both at the local level and at the state level. So I always had a very keen interest in international business and trade. And I saw a lot of people struggling in international business. Well, first of all, from a language standpoint, they were struggling. From a cultural standpoint, they were struggling. But they were also struggling from a legal standpoint, understanding the different legal environment and the tax environment. My particular background being of Hispanic heritage, although my family's been here in the United States for 4 generations, but the bilingual capabilities, understanding the culture, I saw myself as a business facilitator, understanding not just the language but the cultural differences, and having people understand each other and really make it all work for them. And then on top of that, be able to provide the corporate and legal services that they're going to need so they're properly doing business in either country. So it's really exciting for our business. It's very interesting. International is always a very intriguing and interesting way of doing business, especially today in the global economy. Really being domestic is really not going to work anymore. You have to look at international markets, either for production, for labor, or for new customers. So we have that opportunity to help those clients understand the international markets.
I'm fixing to have to wrap up the segment, but Ruben, one more time, give your website.
Yes, it's www.floresgroup.com.
And then, John, why don't you wrap up with a final thought and then give your website again?
Sure thing. Thanks, Kevin. Very exciting time in the virtual economies that we have where two groups that kind of target the same markets can come together to really help a client move around the world, either direction, in the United States, out of the United States. We're very excited to team up with Ruben's group. My website is onlinevisas.com, ONLINEVISAS.com.
All right, John Velie, Ruben Flores. John Velie is a regular contributor now on The Price of Business. By the way, you can learn more about him at his website as well as at priceofbusiness.com. And this interview not only will show up at priceofbusiness.com, but also at the national news website, usdailyreview.com. When we come back, much more for you. Do want to remind you that, again, the best content here does show up over there at US Daily Review. While they're like it on Facebook, follow it on Twitter.